for those that aren't aware, it still surprises me how people don't understand or know what hoodoo is. Can you give us a quick kind of summing up of what hoodoo is?
I would say I could give the long answer or the short. Hoodoo is African American folk magic. It is the middle passage, the slave passage that brought Africans here. Africans like it. Like I was talking for my area, we were influenced by Benin and Congo. Both of those areas already had Catholicism in those areas. All right. These weren't primitive peoples. These were organized communities, villages, tradespeople, very talented farmers. That's why they were taken. The folks from Benin grew rice. They needed rice ground here, so they went and got some rice people. But then when they got here, it was other influences from other Africans coming in. So there was a sharing of knowledge where we, come out of Benin and we're going up the Ivory Coast into the other areas there. And then it got influenced by Native Americans. And then the last influence, of course, would have been Europeans. And that is so determined by where you are. Like where I live is where the Gullah Geechee are. And they lived out on the Sea Islands. There was no roads to get out there. You used to have to take a boat, actually, to get where we lived. And so they were isolated, and they were able to keep more of an African and more of a Native American influence into their area. Whereas if I get a little further up the coast, there's going to be more influences from the outside coming into it. And within the hoodoo tradition, some are very closed. They are part of a family practice. This has been given down. A lot of people get a little surprised when I say this. They typically have it recorded in their Bible. All right. And they carry a very, I don't want to say secret, but a very quiet type thing. And then in other areas where there was more European influence coming into it, is where we pick up that Southern conjure side. I think Corey Hutchinson, who is an academic folklorist, he wrote New World Witchery, described it really best with understanding that these are two different groups of people that have transferred knowledge with each other, at points are working synchronistic with each other, but we still have different influences. Our gumbo's got a little different to it. When I wrote Hoodoo in the Psalms, I didn't quite get the distinctions between Southern Conjure and Hoodoo, and I used them interchangeably. If I had to go back, I would still call it Hoodoo in the Psalms because I still believe that that's what it is. It is giving honor to the Black folk, and which really kept it alive. All right, it had gone tapped so far down within our European systems because it had already in the British Isles. You don't do that with the Bible, and you weren't even allowed to read the Bible at some point. So there was already a very strong disassociation from magic of the Psalms. So it was carried over within our Germanic influences. That's where we have our powwow magic, because within the German magical systems, they were actually still using the Psalms through their grimoire. The grimoire traditions of the 14th and 15th centuries, that's where Solomon's magic, the seals of Solomon, and write this psalm down, in which, the neo-pagans were like, why am I writing down a psalm? And just not putting all of these pieces together. I try to be very mindful when I am speaking that I am not representing something that's not mine. I believe many of the Hoodoo magical traditions are definitely Black folk only. And the reason I say that is because they carry the genetic memory of the Middle Passage. I do not.